welcome back to a new video. This time we're in the Nations Cup on Gran Turismo. So we've just done qualifying, qualified second by a small margin. Just said good luck to the other British guy who qualified first, myself second, and I get this, work together. And I thought, you know what, sounds like a plan. This track here, this combination is going to very much be dependent on the slipstream. So I was thinking, hey, if we can work together, we can pull out a gap, and then whoever wins, wins, but at least we'll get a British 1-2 in the Nations Cup on this final round. Reason why I'm doing this one is because I thought, you know what, I enjoy the MX-5 Touring car, and I wanted to try out the new livery that I'll be doing in the Next Generation Racing Cup this week. So if you want to see that, stay glued to the channel. So let's actually see how close the qualifying was. So Cody on pole, myself second, 0.71 seconds behind, so only a little bit. We have a German in fourth, and then importantly we have the Italian Cody, I'm going to say, in fourth, doing a good job there. We'll zip through the rest of the grid because those are the three that we're going to be focusing on for this video. So let's get to the start. So the start's going to be very important because this is only an 11 lap race, which is unusual in the Nations Cup, and slipstream and overtaking are going to be crucial because overtaking at Tsukuba, especially in identical cars, is quite hard. So launch control activated. A little bit of a tardy reaction time there. Looks like that's what's cost us attacking into the first corner. We've actually got the German on the outside here. Going to take it quite cautious. So I know Cody ahead has said that we should work together, but at this point I'm unsure what this means. He has got his hazards on and he may be trying to get the upper hand on me, so maybe a few trust issues. But looking in the mirror, it looks like we've already made a little bit of a gap coming through what is probably turn 3, I'd say, at Tsukuba. This corner here, just a nice little lift and then back on the power. At this point I know that he did a slightly faster lap than me, but I don't quite know where we stand in it. So going into the second hairpin, you can see he goes really wide, and I was like, oh, is he asking me to go through or not? And at the last minute I backed out of it, and I gave him a little tap, but that actually cost me more time. But as we'll go through the race, we'll find that is Cody's preferred line. So at this point I didn't know that's the line that he prefers to take into that corner. Into the final corner, you can see we actually take a shallower line again. Looks like Cody's line has good race pace, but maybe it isn't great if somebody's trying to attack, because it does open up the inside line to anybody following. Ran a bit wide there, and at this point I'm starting to worry that am I going to drift slowly off the back of Cody's car and then lose that all-important slipstream. So into this corner, the start of the race, I really struggled with this, and I don't know why. I think it was I was being a bit overly cautious. So you can see there, Cody ran a little bit wide, and we managed to close the gap. But in the background, you can see Cody is now past the German. German's dropped way back down, and he's now at the head of the field. So at this point, I'm like, come on, Cody, we need to get going. So you can see there, the wide line there. He loses time at the apex, Cody, but he gains the time down this start-finish straight. As you can see, I've got the slipstream, but I'm not actually gaining, so he's evidently on the power a lot earlier than I am. Into the final corner, again, being cautious, again, not knowing where he's fast and where he's not fast. I don't want to plough into the rear end, being unknowing that he takes an early braking into that final corner. So again, into the first turn there, I'm actually caught him up a little bit more than I was expecting, and actually gave him a bit of a nudge. And again, you see how that just allows him to pull away. All this time, that Italian is really starting to catch up to us. And this is where I start making the mistakes at this hairpin here. You can see how very wide of the apex there. And again, you can see Cody opened a nice big gap there. Again, what's going through my mind at this point is, oh my god, please don't let this be the beginning of the end, and I lose that slipstream and lose all hope of catching him up. But again, you can see going into this final hairpin, I'm a lot closer under braking, but he's got that late apex and early traction. And look at the gap he's already started to pull. Looking behind, now starting to worry about the Italian behind us. Down to the final corner. I felt like, again, Cody took quite a wide line into this, but through the whole corner to the finish line, I felt like I was faster than him. So you can see here to the finish line, I definitely gained through that final corner. So I felt like, you know what, that's where I'm strong. Here you can see again, taking a really wide line there, and gets on the power earlier. Maybe they're not, I do, but they're losing a bit of time. So there, it looks like slight mistakes there, and at this point I'm like, oh, I've now caught Cody back up, and I'm starting to lose a little bit of time to him. All this time the Italians catching the pair of us, and I'm thinking, hey, this could turn from a British 1-2 to an Italian 1 here, and that's not what we wanted at the start of the race. We don't want to trip each other up and end up throwing away a 1-2 for the GB team. Down the back straight, again that late apex and early power ons helps Cody all the way down here. You can see I tend to run slightly tighter line, but lost the rear end a little bit there, had to catch it. That's put us out wide. Down on the brakes, you can see here, oh, I almost went into the back of Cody there. Again, he's using that really late apex, and I think it cost me some time there. Look at the Italian. The Italian is now only less than a second behind us. Into the second hairpin, lost a lot of time there. You can see the Italian got a lot bigger in the rear view mirror there. I prefer to use the view on top of the hood here, but you lose out in the rear view mirror, which is very important. There made another slight mistake, ended up a bit wide. You can see trying too hard now, getting a bit worried about this Italian. Kalou is right behind me now, and I go way too deep into that final hairpin. I lose a lot of time, and you can see he is now in my slipstream. And at this point, halfway through the race, I'm in danger of losing Cody's slipstream just ahead. So again, I take the shallower line on the power fully before the apex, and carrying good speed. I actually pulled away from the Italian Kalou there, and actually managed to catch up Cody again a little bit. Coming into the first corner, I try too hard again, and I go a bit too deep. Maybe trying the Cody line there. All this time, the Italian is catching me, but I'm now starting to catch Cody by the looks of it. So this is the corner that I was losing time. You can see in the rear view mirror, look how much the Italian catches right up to me. At this point, I'm thinking, you know what, the Italian is strong coming into that hairpin, and that's where I'm going to have to be careful. So, onto the final hairpin again, trying to keep it nice and smooth, trying to smuggle myself back into the slipstream. That late apex always throws you off a little bit, but you can see how good the traction is that he gets out of there. All the way down the back straight. I have to say, this was a really fun combination. I believe it's Comfort Soft tyres and MX-5 touring car and Tsukuba. It was really good, fun, entertaining mix. See there again, final corner, really catching up to Cody. So at this point, I'm trying to figure out, I've not got fastest lap, but I'm not a million miles away from fastest lap. And I'm starting to feel like Cody is maybe holding us up a little bit. So I managed to let the gap open up, and I managed to close the gap down. So I feel like I'm faster, but he's just got the car in the right place at the right time at this point. Again into that hairpin, you can see the Italian Kalou getting really close underneath our rear bumper. You can see just that corner there is about trying to hold as much apex speed as possible and using all the road possible. Well, I suppose every corner is. So again, down here, you can see Kalou gets right under my bumper there. So he takes a similar sort of line to myself. And it looks like we both lose out to Cody down the back straight. But we have good entry and apex speed. Final corner again. Managed to close up that gap that 2 laps ago Cody was quite a way ahead. Again, we start to catch through the final corner again. Slowly chipping away at my personal best lap time. First corner, so Cody again quite wide there, and I actually nudged him by accident. I didn't really want to, but he was quite slow on the apex as he goes for his late apex. And that's just compromised me here. You can see the Italian looming large on the brakes, and here it comes. Knew it was coming out that corner at some point. It's a little bit boisterous, a little bit pushy, but we all survived. No harm, no foul, is what I say. We'll get a quick replay here, so you can see I just nudged the back of Cody's car. That loses us a little bit of momentum. And then you can see going through here, the corner that I've been struggling with the whole race, I hadn't had the confidence. He throws it up the inside, like throwing a sausage down an alleyway really. That was a nice wide gap there, and he's through. So right, now what am I thinking? I'm thinking, right, I either need to get straight back past, and it doesn't look like I'm going to do that. And now I'm thinking, right, is he going to pick off Cody? And we're going to go from a British 1-2 to an Italian 1 and British 2-3. So he falls foul of Cody's late apex there, and we try and smuggle ourselves down the inside, but just not got quite the traction to be able to do that. So we need to sit in his slipstream. We've got 3 laps left, and we need to assess what's going to happen. So it looks like he takes a similar sort of line to myself. But well, it looks like in final corner he takes a line between myself and Cody's, like the middle section. So into the first corner, look into the inside. Cody's running wide again there, runs wide, but we know he's going to try and focus on the exit. But it looks like he's left the door open too much, and Kalu is up the inside. But now he's going to be on the outside for this hairpin. So they're going to force it in here. And now I'm seeing, right, there's my gap, Come on, power. I can see there's bumping, grinding going on the outside. All of a sudden, Cody comes across the front of me, and he's got a 1 second penalty on the top of his car. So, don't quite know what happened there. So, let's check the replay. So, we're going to follow Kalu into the first corner. Cody's going to take his famous, really late apex / maybe outbraking himself. There's a little bit of bumping and rubbing, and now they're side by side. So, going through the chicane into the second hairpin, you can see Cody's still got his nose alongside, and they both outbrake themselves and go very deep in. I managed to get my car up. There's a little nudge, and that nudge means that Kalu takes 4 wheels off the track. So Gran Turismo's penalty system goes, there was contact and you ended up off track. That was your the person who initiated the contact's problem. So now he's got a 1 second penalty. I see him go really wide, and I think, is he letting me through? But then kind of doesn't. Again, this is sometimes this line that Cody takes, it looks like it's good for lap time and top end speed at the end of the straight, but maybe not great for racing. So he's now dropped down. I take first, and it looks like the Italian takes second, and Cody's still on his tail. So Cody losing a second there, and I managed to profiteer from the 2 fighting it out just ahead of me, so I was worried. So now we've got 2 laps with which to last, but what was quite telling now is at this point this is my first lap all race in clean air. So you can see going into the first sector, I'm already on a PB into the first sector, and this was a second corner which I struggled with the Italian. Look in the rear view mirrors, it looked like he went in quite deep, but went a little bit too deep, and actually ended up losing pace through there. So at this point, kind of, I don't know, it just snapped with me, and I felt more confident going into that second hairpin. Into the second sector, you can see we're actually purple, so holding good pace, taking the same line that I'd been taking all race. And you can see, looking behind, the Italian is now 1.2 seconds behind, and it looks like we've broken the slipstream. So now it's going to be a battle between Cody and Kalu, and myself. Hopefully I can use this time to get away, using the same lines that I was using before, but without anybody ahead. We go and take fastest lap of the race. So you can probably say, yeah, Cody maybe was holding us up, but then it is pretty difficult to be the lead driver. You're always going to be the one who loses time rather than gains time. If somebody's ahead of you, you can just be a little bit later, a little bit more aggressive than what they've done, and you're only going to be up, really. looking in the rear view mirror, you can see the battle really starting to rage between those two. It looks like we've got a purple sector through the first sector, so we're really starting to pull away, and it looks like we're leaving Cody to fight the battle. I'm sorry, pal, but we kind of have to. We don't want to play games. I did think about it, and we'll look in the rear view mirror and you can see they're going too wide into the final hairpin. Let's actually catch up with what's happening. So Cody in third, Glue in second. Cody with a tighter line. Glue takes inside into this final hairpin, saying if you're going to go around me, you're going to have to go the long way round. Cody using his famous really late apex and actually uses that to get a really good exit, pulls the inside, and crucially at this point he has his nose just alongside. If he hadn't managed that, then that would have been game over. So they go too wide into the final corner, a bit of bumping, but it's rubbing his racing, and round the final corner across the finish line, I've taken the lead, a win, taking the fastest lap, and we can see Cody takes second and Clue takes third. So yeah, as you can see here, replayed a little bit. This is me looking back behind, trying to figure out who was going to take second, and it looks like Cody just comes along the line the second, with Clue in third. So you know what, that was a really entertaining race. We had us three had a good natter after the race, which is always good fun, and I really enjoyed that. It was nice to be back into some Nations Cup racing and enjoy that, and of course it's even better when you get a nice victory at the end. It's a shame it's the end of the season for now. Oh, if you like that livery, that's my Excite livery, which I'll be doing in the Next Generation Racing Cup. That starts on this Sunday. I'll leave a link to it in the description. Give it a like or download it. That's actually a 69th win. Who were? But if you enjoyed that, like it. If you disliked it, dislike it. But let me know in the comments down below how I can make it better. And we'll see you again soon.